Wow, I'm bright today. Hey there, Terry. How you doing?
I'm all right.
What you doing? Leaving work?
Leaving work.
How was your day there?
It was all right.
Okay. What you had? You got anything on your mind, a burden that you want to talk about tonight?
Yeah, I did some. Well, not really. I did some driving for dollars this week. Well, yeah, last weekend.
Some dollars, and how they go for you?
I found a couple properties. I need to get some phone numbers for them.
All right. You gonna try the freeways?
Shoot, I wanted to try your way, whatever you doing.
You know, I don't really do that. I really don't call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really don't do driving for dollars like that. That's a Joe thing, and it works well because every time he on the phone, we do it. But he got all the apps on his phone to kind of find the names and numbers and quicker and faster with his apps. Yeah.
Right.
I normally go, I told you, I normally like Craigslist for sale by owners. I like Section 8, Social Serve, people that give you their phone number and their name right off the back and they expect you to call.
Right.
Yeah, that cold calling, just it's okay. I ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's just something that I like. If you got people out here that's willing to pick up the phone for sure because they want somebody to rent their property, buy their property, it's better than calling somebody that like, why the heck are you calling me and what you want?
Okay, then.
Yeah, but I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just, Joe make more money off of each deal because he take more of a risk. I take the simple and easier way, and I just like to take pennies on a dollar instead of taking a dollar out of, out of a dollar. A dollar for dollar, he get dollar for dollar. I get a couple of pennies out of that dollar. That's the difference in the investment strategy.
Pennies add up.
But that's a safe better. If I go to the boat, gamble, I'm only taking a certain amount of money. And once I make that money, I'm putting that money back in this pocket. And then I'm only playing with the house money. And once I lose that money, I'm done. So I'm one of them safe people. You got some people, they can lose what they came with, go keep on withdrawing more out there because they hit big and then they hit real big and make a good lick. They happy with it. I'm good with just, hey, I made $50. I'm like, that's gas.
Yeah, the boat ain't designed for you to win, really, if you think about it.
Absolutely. But what is designed for you to win? You know what I'm saying? Only you and your strategy. Because everything have to get your money. Everything have to get something from you. They don't want to get, nobody try to give anybody anything. And most folks got their hands out trying to take. So you just gotta come with a strategy when you're dealing with certain things, right?
Okay, then.
It's just perspective. There ain't no fact. It's just my perspective. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out. SL, how you doing, brother? You're there doing homeworking on the car. I know how you doing. All right, Terry. So driving for dollars. And that's going okay. You are picking up some address, you're picking up some houses. And what exactly are you looking for when you drive for dollars?
I'm just looking for something that's vacant.
Something that's vacant, okay.
Appears to be vacant. I guess if I can look clear through the property, the window as I'm driving by, that property vacant. If it's a lot of growed up trees, grass, whatever, more than likely nobody's deaf if they can't hardly walk through the yard.
Okay. Now, are these houses you're looking at in nice neighborhoods or regular neighborhoods?
I just went around the neighborhood I'm in. I just drove around my neighborhood, 71108.
Okay. But I do understand what you're going through. All right, brother. I got you. I'm tracking. Definitely. I would say that it's worth calling cold calls in nicer neighborhoods to come across those deals because you're gonna get more bang for your buck running by talking to those people. You know, I'm sorry to say this, and I mean, I hope that nobody take this the wrong way on YouTube or anywhere else. But you know, communities and neighborhoods sometimes have a certain mindset, right? You go into a very wealthy neighborhood, they have a certain persona, and they talk to people certain ways, and they can. I can't get into Zoom. Why you can't get into Zoom? And they have ways of doing things, right?
Right.
When you go into a middle class neighborhood, it's a little different, right? They like, hey, you got working class people. You may have the kids may stay in the house. Well, oh yeah, in the wealthy neighborhood, kids stay in the house a lot, right? Or they in the backyard in the pool, the tape, you know, pool or whatever, having fun in the backyard, but they don't come outside the front. You go in the middle class, you may have parents working all the time and never see you see the kids outside having fun and everything a little bit, but you know, certain times of the day, right? And then when you go in the lower neighborhoods, then you have kids playing all day long and you never hardly see the parents. If you see parents, they outside drinking and hanging out too. So what I'm getting at is if you're driving in the lower neighborhood and you do find a person, the conversation you may have with the people after you talk to them may not be as productive as talking to somebody in the middle class or upper neighborhood, because those people care about, I mean, most likely they're working class, they got a pretty good job, and whatever they're going through for their house to be vacant, they made them bought another house, and that house right there is a drain on them. Or they may be going through a job loss and they want to save their credit and they don't mind selling it to you or doing it fast and quickly. And it may not be tied up with so many different individuals, because you know it's a difference in the mindset of when I live in most of the time when you live in the lower class, it used to be a family house that a lot of people stay in. And now that house tied up with a whole bunch of names. Middle class, maybe so. Upper class is usually tied up with only that one person, that family. So if I was to do the driving for dollars, seriously, I would drive in the middle to upper class neighborhoods to do that drive for dollars to get someone that I definitely know most likely own the house. Definitely ain't got to fight with cousins and uncles and everybody name on the house, probably, most likely. This assumption, this is my paradigm, this is my perception. And oh Lord, I don't know how to send a link right now. I'm gonna call. And care about their credit and know that they in the pain point for real. It didn't make any sense. Do that make like? I mean, I ain't trying to say that it's I ain't trying to stereotype. I ain't trying to say one to the other in a direct way. But you can. Do you get what I'm coming from? What I'm trying to say? Terry. SL said yes, sir. What you got, Terry?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say. If you drive for dollars, man, yeah, I go to the upper, middle to upper. Joe, what you think about that? What's your take on that? Joe over there working too. He in Shreveport working hard. I'm trying to see how I get on. Somebody else just text me saying they need the Zoom link. Okay, Joe quiet. Y'all quiet. All right, what else you got, man? So that's what I would say about driving dollars. Vacant homes could be good. Grass growing up is good. Are you going up, walking on a door? I mean, what you doing? How you doing that part?
Was you asking Joe or was you asking me?
You. When you see the vacant house and everything, you going to make sure you look through the window and see that you can see through it, right?
Right. I mean, it was just me just driving by. I didn't actually walk up to it. Okay. I got up in the driveway. I mean, I drove in the driveway.
Do you see the neighbors outside?
No neighbors outside.
So I would say if you had some business cards, another thing you can do is just take your business card to the neighbors next door and let them know that, hey, look, I'm interested in talking to the owners of this house. If you have a time, do you have their number? If you do, then hey, you mind giving to me or calling them and telling them that I would like to talk to them? That's another way. If the house look like it maybe somebody live there, you can leave a card or a flyer or your phone number, stick it in the door. And that way somebody come and open the door, it falls in their hand. That's another way to do it if you don't want to spend money. But I think you got whitepages.com, peoplefinders.com. You got a couple of search things out there for free, but like I said, that means you'll be digging through a lot of phone numbers and names. And I'm lazy. I don't want to do all that. That's just me. So I just, like I said, I go with the Section 8 social serve, for sale by owner on Craigslist. That way you got the person name, you got the phone number, you know that person own the property and they are the ones that are trying to sell it or they the ones trying to rent it out. And then once you call them, you got somebody. It's like a warm lead than a cold lead. Now the conversation you have with that person may be a cold conversation because you're calling to acquire the property other than to rent the property. But if it's for sale by owner, it's a warm lead because the person already telling you that they want to sell a property. They already got it listed. They took out the time to send you whatever they send you for you to get that information. So it's a little bit easier and smoother transaction.
Okay.
Yeah. So you still ain't on social media, right?
No.
All right. Well, like I said, that's the other way I usually do it. If you were to use Facebook or something, you have a lot of meetup groups or a lot of Facebook RIA groups. You have a lot of investor groups. You have a lot of, you just can, once you get on there, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whichever one, just search real estate groups or real estate investing or whatever and then you join those groups and then you kind of hear what they got going on. And if you have a deal, when you do come across a deal, and you can kind of put it out there, say, hey, y'all, anybody interested in this deal once you get on a contract. The other way is to look at their deals that they got out there. You may be interested in buying one of their deals that it makes sense. So that's another way to kind of get your portfolio built a little quicker. And then if you do get something under contract, you can co-wholesale it with them on the RIA groups and the RIA groups. So that's another way of getting your information out there. Let's see. I really just was ready for whatever y'all had that, anything right now tonight. I know I'm recording and everything. I really didn't have nothing planned just to teach off the top of my head. I know I got plenty of stuff on my phone that I can just probably look through right quick. Take control of your future. Huh. Wow, I think that's nice. I just scrolled down to take control of your future. Look at the present, think about the future, set goals, make moves towards the goals and achieve goals and reset. Yeah. It is impossible to fail or succeed. Oh, is it impossible to fail or to succeed? Which one is impossible? Is it impossible to succeed or is it impossible to fail? Nice. These notes in my phone, I got this Galaxy note, and sometimes I just be thinking of some thoughts and just put it in there. Practice and get paid, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if you're just having a conversation with somebody, if you practice talking to people about real estate and they interested, you can get paid. That's what I think I would have said that. Do both, then do you, right? So that means work a job. I think I was talking about working a job and working on your dream, your expectation, what you want, work on your craft that you're trying to do for yourself. And then, you can do you later on. If you just doing one job, then you just doing what you got to do. But if you start doing that job and doing what you want to do on your own and practicing stuff, like making little small steps every day, then later on, you'll be able to do you full time and the job be gone because you doing what you want to do. You got great at it. So you got to start taking action to get that way, and you got to start moving forward. So you've been driving for dollars since we talked to you. So now it's just time for you, the brother, to go on ahead and make that connection with someone and have the conversation and practice on them. Just talk to them. I mean, the worst they can say is no, or the worst they can say I'm not interested. The best thing they can do is talk to you and listen to you and hear you out. And if they hear you out and listen to you, then guess what you got now? You got opportunity to make money while you was practicing. Or acquire your first rental property. It's gonna be scary no matter what. I mean, how many vehicles you have personally?
One.
You got one. Was you when you first bought that vehicle, the first vehicle you ever bought, was you nervous or scared?
No.
You what?
My first vehicles, I paid cash for my first vehicles.
You weren't nervous about it after you paid for when you come up with the money to pay for it? Like, oh man, I hope the car don't break down. I hope the car don't do this if I'm paying cash. Or hey, you know, should I use all my money and just put on this, or should I use it with other things? Or man, what if I get the thing that's the limit? I don't know the situation. I'm just saying the thought process that go through your head when you first do spending some money or making an investment.
My first car, I bought it and restored it.
Oh, okay, that was an investment for you, right?
No,
you restored it. You just bought it and restored it. You didn't sell it?
Yeah, I bought it, restored it, and yeah, I did. Well, I had my fun in it, and then I sold it.
Okay, but you made more. Did you make more money than you put into it?
Mm-mm.
You didn't? You just broke even?
Yeah, well, now, not really. It had been setting up for a while. After I had restored it, I pretty much just gave it away because I bought a couple more after I restored that one. So I really wasn't driving it no more.
Okay. And see, SL he was anxious and excited at the same time. And I know that every time I bought a vehicle, I mean, my first one was a 2006 Chevy Silverado. I was straight out of college. And I was working my first job as a teacher, and I had the money to do it. But when they started saying 300, it was like $340 a month, and your down payment was like $3,000. I was like, man, I really want this truck. I want this photo truck. I just graduated from college. Oh man, do I really want this note? I got child support. I got other bills. You know what I'm saying? I got a house, a mortgage, child support. Okay, really, should I spend this money on this? And I know that this car is what I really want. And I know this car, this truck, or what have you, is very important to me. And it's going to be a secure driving, secure what transportation to work and everything else, right? So I was scared, even though I had the money. I had the money saved up for a good down payment. I had money for to pay the bill, the monthly bill. If something happened, I had a little stash, but I was still scared. So I mean, it's kind of like with this real estate thing. Hey, you're prepared. You have information. You have more information than most people that's out there. People buy a house at least one time, maybe, if they ever buy one. Most people don't buy more than 3 houses. So the experience they got is only from the buying and selling. So being on this call for as long as you've been on this call for 6 months or what have you, I promise you have enough knowledge to talk to those people that only bought one house or maybe inherit a house and never bought a house and just inherited, and be able to educate them more than they are. So I'm trying to say that to encourage you, stop driving for dollars only. Let's go and take some action and try and get them on the phone and talk to them. And anybody that you reached out on any kind of Craigslist, social serve, Section 8, I mean, hey, it's just practice.
Right.
Let's have a conversation. Even investors, I promise you, most of the investors I talk to, they've been doing this longer than me, told me they got one strategy and they use the same strategy over and over again. They have not changed their strategy. They said, hey, my mentor, my college professor, he's my ROTC instructor. He was buying houses there since I've been in college, and he's still buying. He was, now he's getting out the business. But he told me he used one strategy. He bought a house with his credit card. He refinanced it within that same month. And then he paid the credit card bill off. And that's how he got all his houses. And he got up to like 25, I want to say. Same strategy. He said he didn't do nothing else. He showed me his little portfolio. He had a little binder like this, the binder like that, with a whole bunch of, the dividers in there and the different, the dividers and the plastic container stuff, what have you, the little envelopes. And he just showed me how he put the deed, the bills, and everything on each one of them. And he just flip it over. And he was old school. He was still going through writing down checks and stuff when he paid the bills and writing down stuff. He wasn't putting nothing on a computer. All my stuff on computers. And I just saved the Google Drive and stuff so I can get to it quicker. Or I save it to OneDrive. So all I'm telling you is, brother, you got enough knowledge to talk to anybody right now about some real estate and talk intelligently enough to get a deal under contract. We definitely need you to go ahead and believe in you and make that call and start talking to some people you drive for dollars. Miss Sharon, I see you on the call. How you been doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Have you how's the school year going for you?
Happy, joy.
I don't miss those days at all, but I do appreciate you, what you do. I do miss the kids. I ain't gonna lie, I do miss kids. I do miss waking up in the morning, just making a difference in somebody's life that matters.
I can send them to you. Which one would you like?
None. I'm good on that. I'll come by there. Look, tell me when y'all need some volunteer help. And I'll come by there and volunteer or something. How about that?
No problem. They won't let anybody in the building, but that's okay. Good thought, though.
Hey, see, look, I tried. At least I tried.
I know. But you'll be the first on my list, though. Hey.
You remember that one time I came sit in the room with you? The kids enjoyed that. Just seeing somebody over there, a daddy over there.
I know. They love that. They absolutely love that. They really do.
Look, I started dance on duty before Shreveport did. But nah, those guys doing a good job with the dance on duty, so I'm proud of them.
They're excellent. I thought that was cool. Yeah, they need more of those.
Yeah, that's so out of those guys, one of those guys, my Sunday brothers, and one of the people that I'm close to, like my little brother, Mr. Kenneth Wayne, he like my little brother.
Okay.
And me and Zach, the president of the organization, me and him went to elementary school together.
Oh, nice. Cool beans. I think that was awesome, man. That went viral. That was awesome. And I hope a lot more guys pick up on that, especially some of the frats or even church groups, or military groups.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they definitely going national wide. They making the bylaws for nationwide and to try and do an actual national organization for it. So I know they're working on the paperwork. They're working on everything. That will happen. And they got the bylaws already created. They're working with lawyers and stuff to make sure that stuff is dressed. And I think they're gonna try and move it forward with helping other states out to kind of implement it in a real organized manner.
Absolutely, that's what they need. Absolutely, before the businesses try to take over, because I believe we're going to go down to business taking over. That's where they're trying to go. So they're making it, add a little bit extra pressure on everybody else. So they say, hey, it's failing. So now we need business to take over and it becomes a new business. It's like, wow. Yeah. But kids need people. They need people. Yep.
Absolutely.
So anyway, thank you for what you do.
I appreciate it. Have you, what you been doing with real estate on this end? You just been working hard and that's it?
Just working hard. That's all. Nothing. I'm just absorbing. I'm just not there yet. So I'm just being honest. So I'm just listening to what I need to do and listening to where I need to get. Yes, being chicken, that would be the main thing. Yes, I think I can go and talk to anybody, but I really don't have the words just yet. So I haven't been on as long. So, but that's okay. I'll keep working on it. Well, I have no problem talking to anybody. I'm talking to a flea, but they won't buy the property.
Well, look, like I said, I swear by this. Craigslist is the first place to start it. I would say for sale by owners. I mean, it don't hurt ever to just call and ask questions and say, hey, look, how much you really want to sell this for? I don't care if you ask that four times in a row. After they say something, you'll change to something and say, hey, is that your bottom line, lowest price? I mean, guess what? You may don't want to buy a property. You may do want to buy a property. Maybe if they say the price is right, the number right, and they come down from 100, up here, a house cost 300, 400,000. They come down and say, you know what? Today you're a lucky day. I sell it to you for $200,000, and the house worth 450,000. All day long, you be like, hey, you be calling me and texting me like you did for the link. Hey,
but you haven't seen the house though. Would you even offer that if you haven't even seen the house?
Yeah, you can do a verbal. A verbal ain't gonna kill nobody. That's a verbal.
Okay.
Yeah, but you wouldn't offer that. I'm just saying, if you're talking to them and they telling you that, hey, Because first, what I do, I kind of know I kind of look at the zip code I want to invest in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you already know the zip code where you want to invest in, you know how much the house is probably selling for in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So if a person's saying that they want to offer the house in those areas are worth 500,000, then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you're calling Craigslist zip code that have address that address, and you talking to the person, and all of a sudden they say, "Hey, all I want is 300,000." You already know you got $200,000 spread in that community.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
if you say, "Well, that's the lowest you can go," that's the drop dead lowest you can go, and after you talk to them for a little while and be a rapport, and they say, "You know what? I'll take 150. I'll take 175 if you come right now with it within the next 15 days." Oh, okay, then that's when you start calling all these other folks and say, "Hey, look, hey, you interested in going in on a deal with me? You interested in partnering me on a deal, or blah blah blah? We can work out the details. I just need to know if you're interested in blah blah blah." Or you call
Mm-hmm.
that's when you text me and say, "Hey, look, what to do? I got a great deal. Here's the address. What to do?" And then I walk you through.
Okay.
That's how you
When
do
do you
that type of stuff.
Okay, well, I asked about the property because I remember once upon a time, 100 years ago, I did try to check out a property, and the property it sounded really wonderful. And then I was able to get online, and I saw a picture of it. It was a brick front. The property had blown out in the back. It was nothing behind it. I was like,
Yeah,
what? It was like the
yeah.
front looked great. And I got in my car to win. I said, it must be imagination, must be a trick of the camera. And I drove over, it was in Maryland. I drove over there. I said, there was nothing back behind the house. So they had a gas explosion. But just, I'm like, really, guys? Wow. So you had that. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, you won't sign no contract with nobody, but you can do
Okay.
a verbal agreement that, hey, you know what? If everything that you say is true, yeah, that don't sound like a problem at all. When can we meet at the property to look at it? When can I do this? And then while you do that, once you got the phone, that's when you start calling the tax assessor off, and that's when you start researching your comps to make sure your comps are good. That's when you start doing all your little homework to make sure that everything lines up and it is a great deal that you're buying on the market. And then that's when you do. I bought a house sight unseen. I bought a house with a lot beside it, two lots side by side. And the house had
Mhm.
a hole in the roof and a hole in the floor. And I bought
Mhm. Okay.
it because the deal, how much I paid for it and how much it's worth, is had enough stretch that I can use the land to borrow against for collateral.
Okay.
So I mean, I bought a house sight unseen. The guy was like, "Hey man, I really want to get rid of this. I really need to pay these bills off. My mom got sick, she passed, and I just want to get rid of her bills." And I put them on my credit cards. Okay, how much? Okay, boom. I did my comps. Okay, the land is worth. One land is worth, I want to say 25, and the other piece of land is worth like 18,000. And then you selling it to me for 5,000. Okay, that
Wow.
makes perfectly
Okay.
good sense. 5,000 for right at $40,000. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay. Got it. Got it. All right. Mhm. So listen, Terrence, a gish. Wow. About how much should you kind of have in an account ready to go somewhere to do something with? Would
so
you say
is
it's
a
a good or
so it depends on what you're trying to do. Again, with wholesaling, you really don't have to have much money in the account at all. Only thing you need to do is kind of have a little money for a deposit if you had to put a deposit on the house. And I don't put a $10 deposit down on at least 3 houses.
get out of here?
Uh,
Really? Wow.
yes, I don't seen people do $1.
And
Exchanging
it
some kind of
and it went
currency.
through and it went through okay.
Yeah, because it's
Oh,
really just an agreement between you and that person. Again, if a person really want to sell a property, they don't care about that. They're just a transaction that you did to say that you sealed a deal by a transaction or something. But at the end of the day, I would say that, to be frank, if you want to do the research and background, I mean, like, pay for the apps or pay for some way to search the people and stuff. Okay,
mhm.
that's a couple dollars, $50. Then when you look at, you may want to buy some business cards and stuff like that. So that, like I said, you didn't get on, but you may want to put business cards on vacant houses, or the next door neighbors knock on their door if they're outside. Hey, here's my business card. If you know this person, can you have them call me? Or do you have their number? Can you call it for me right quick? Boom. But the most money you probably would need is just for a deposit. That's about it. And a deposit up here, now it may be a little bit higher up here in the Virginia, the East area. So maybe like $1,000 or $2,000 to be taken serious. But if you put a contingency in
Okay.
there pending on agreement with partner in your
Okay.
contract, that's a way out.
Okay.
That's a contingency that get you a way out. And then you never give the money to the seller. You give the money to the title company or the closing agent, the lawyer.
Even that deposit?
Yeah, the deposits go to them. They don't go to the person. They go to them and they hold it until the transaction is finished.
Okay, and that's to the closing agent? What'd you say?
The closing agent or the closing attorney, whichever one you use. Sometimes people use an attorney to close on the house. I didn't use that in Mississippi and a couple other places. In Louisiana and Mississippi. And then up here, I use a closing title company where you go to, title company, and they do all the work. Yeah, escrow. It go in escrow. Yep. Thank you, SL.
Okay.
Yep. So they hold that money to the transaction end.
So if they mess up and just say, okay, so even if you have 1,000 deposit and you agreed on it and then they go sell with somebody else, do they do that?
They can, if they do that, if you didn't if they didn't sign a contract with you, if you can prove it and argue with them and go back and forth, but who worth all that time? If somebody messed over you, hey, shame on them, let them go, but you get your money back from the title company because they show it sold to somebody else and they got the money to somebody else. But most time people don't do that. If they really want to sell a house and they really try to get rid of it, and you build a relationship with them where they got a rapport with you and they trust you, then they usually don't go behind your back and do that. Usually. Now I ain't saying that they don't, but they usually don't.
Okay.
But that's how the rapport you build with somebody. That's how when you're talking like right now, me and you do business together, you'll know that, hey, you know what? I have a rapport with this person. I can trust them for their word. I don't see them doing that to you. Now, if you're working with somebody shiesty like that, you'll know that, and you'll know that they have your guard. So they're like, okay, this may be a shiesty deal.
Right. Okay. That sounds good so far. Okay.
Yeah, but
it sounds much better because I was thinking, okay, how many thousands is it going to be? Okay, 1 or 2 is not bad, but just I know 10 or 20, I'm like, okay, may not be happening.
No. That's why you have friends like myself, Joe, SL, and Terry on here that if you come across a hell of a deal and you need some money, somebody to partner with you on there, then that's when you get somebody else money involved to help you out to get them started. And then you just work an agreement out with whomever you partner with that, hey, look, I'm going to pay you back over this amount of time for this. You also got ways to talk to the seller. If the seller is really interested and they really like you, know, and trust you in some kind of way or another, they may do a seller finance where they sell you the house with nothing down, and then you start paying them each month. Or better yet, subject to, they have a loan on a house, they have another house in another community, and they just want to get the loan to get paid. And if you can talk it right and speak it right, then guess what? They maybe give you the house subject to the existing loan, where you just start paying the bill and you set it up, automatic payment. I did it before. I set up automatic payments to the person account from my checking account. They kept access to their account and seen they got paid every month on time without a problem. And once they seen like the first 3 months, they never even checked no more. They ain't worried about it no more. They knew they was automatic on. And I hit the house and I'll rent the house out and I'll make money.
Okay. So
it's
for your purpose,
creative ways of doing it where you don't have to worry about coming with your own money.
Okay. So why would they do that?
They don't want the house no more. This young lady right here, she had the house for like about 5 or 6 years. She's a beautician. She was anticipating moving with her boyfriend to Atlanta. And basically she was like, I'm over it. I'm a single woman with a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. I'm good. She went and got her apartment and was staying in an apartment, and she had it up for sale, and the real estate agent could not sell a house for the price she was asking for so many months. And I asked her, hey, when is your contract up with the real estate agent? And she said, next month it'll be up. I said, well, hey, next month when it's up, let me know, and I'll come get the house from you and take over it. And I'll start paying your note that same month. So basically, I gave her $10. I did give her $10 because she was my classmate from high school. Gave her $10 in a check. I wrote a check out for her so he could have check and the address of the house, and this is the deposit for this house. I wrote the contract up. She signed it on the spot. I just gave her a little $10 check, and then I went to the title company. Title company did all the paperwork. Nope. I didn't even do the title work. I didn't have to do the title work right then. I just basically took over the notes. I asked for the agreement to get on a bank with her. The bank signed a document saying that I got access to her account, and she approved me to have access to her account. I set up the automatic bill payment. She got paid every month, straight to the bank. The bank got paid every month, and the mortgage company.
So what part is that getting from her? She wanted to get rid of the house. So what did she get from that?
Nothing. She got rid of the house. She got rid of the house. She got her $10 for a meal.
Oh, she just, really? Wow. She gave the whole house for that?
Yeah, she didn't want the house no more.
She just didn't want it, no matter what. Oh my gosh. She wasn't thinking, was she? Anyway,
No,
okay.
she was. You got people out there that's tired. They don't want to do it because when you have a house, you have maintenance problem, you have air conditioning problem, you have yard to keep up, you have all these extra headaches. I'm taking that headache away, and nobody can sell it for that price. And the house had a loan on it, and she could not find nobody to pay that much for the loan.
And so then you go out and get somebody to rent it to.
Huh?
So you go out and get somebody else to rent it to at that price. She couldn't.
Well, she didn't want to be a landlord. She didn't want to be a
landlord. Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
She did. She wanted out. So check this out. Even if she'd have went down on a price for the house, she's gonna be out of money. She's gonna have to pay the real estate agent for selling the house.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She's gonna have to pay her portion of the closing costs.
Okay.
But she would have lost money if she would have sold the house to a real estate agent.
Okay.
So she broke even and got $10 out of it.
She got rid of the headache and maintained her credit. So she
maintain her credit. Don't have to worry about no toilets. Don't have to worry about no lights. Don't have to worry about no roof. Don't have to worry about no grass. Don't got to worry about nothing no more. And ever since I hit that house, I've been having air conditioning problems. But I mean, it's worth it because I rented out for twice as much as the note.
Okay. So then you have to advertise. So now you have to advertise. You have to do what you taking her problems by advertising somebody to get in there, or people want to go there.
Absolutely. That's it. Too easy. And I ain't gotta pay for the advertisement. I just put it on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
That's free. Go to Marketplace on Facebook. Videotape the house, take picture of the house. Say, hey, house for rent for this price. Here's the address. You're more than welcome to go look at the windows or through the windows of the yard or whatever. That's it. Usually when I'm in town, I record the house on YouTube and I just send a link inside the text message with everything. Here's what I'm want. Here's how much it costs. Here's what it comes with. Here's with pets. Here's the link if you want to look at the link. And here's another link if you just want to look at pictures. And they can go to my website, look at pictures. But if you want me to come, you got to put me a deposit down for me to even schedule somebody to go show you that house. You got to pay for that.
Okay.
Just that easy. And guess what? Somebody else wanted. And I've seen people do lease options with those deals where they actually, she paying two mortgages or she was paying one mortgage and she was paying rent at an apartment complex. She moved out of her house and moved into an apartment complex off of Uri Drive, nice apartment complex too. She was paying a pretty penny. So that's another thing, and that's why I think he's trying to help me out and tell you. I helped her out because now she only paying. He said smart move. She didn't want to pay a house and rent and her mortgage. You see what I'm saying? That's $1,000 a month.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
So I helped her out. I helped her out of a problem. And that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of people out here struggling. Most of the client, you got on a little bit late, but I explained to Mr. Douglas that most, depending on the community, upper communities to higher community, those people care about their credit and they care about what happens next. So if they moved out of their house too soon and bought another house across the town and they paying 2 mortgages, they ready to get rid of this mortgage. They ready to get rid of this problem. It's a problem now. It's no longer an investment because now they're paying more money for water, gas, electric in 2 different locations, keeping yours done and worried about who gonna break in the house and steal their stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, got it. Oh, that's true. Mm-hmm.
So peace of mind is everything. So and folks out there like that all the time, out everywhere. COVID-19, when people start losing their jobs and not being able to work like they used to, those folks fell on hard times and they want to stay their credit so when they get back on their feet and get a better job, but if you get behind, you know how that is. If you don't pay 1 month, you don't pay 2 months. Now you're in a big old hole. And it's hard to get out of. So these people be ready, they're anxious to get rid of their properties.
Okay, got it.
Yep. Okay,
Thank you.
I beat that dead horse. No problem.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm.
No worries. But I just want to ask you to go on socialserve.com. Socialserve.com. That is a government assistance program, or either section8.com, and start looking up renters, people that's renting their landlords that's renting their houses out, And that's a good spot to call and ask their landlord, do they want to buy more houses or do they want to sell or are they interested in selling the property they have?
Okay.
That's an easy way to get into real estate right there. Think about what I just said. If you go on socialserve.com and you call a landlord and they say that I want out the game. This is my last rent property. I really don't want no more, but since I got it all up and running, I really put a tenant in it. But if somebody offered me the right price for it, I'll sell it today. That's in one zip code. That same zip code, you call somebody else, a landlord, and say, hey, I'm looking for more. I want 10 more properties. I want 10 more properties in this area. Now you just got the phone with this man and said, hey, or this woman that said, hey, this is my last property. I really don't want no more. The price is right. Boom. You just call somebody else and they saying, hey, I want more in this area. I love this area. Boom. Your job now is to find out what the person that want more really want. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 4 bedroom, 5 baths, whatever. Upstairs, lower core, no basement. Find out what the buyer want. They're saying they want more. And as you call and marry, you're going to merge these people together and you're going to make the money, your wholesale fee, by selling the property that this person said they don't want no more. They just doing it because they got it. And this person saying they do want, you going out there find a deal for that person that want it. And you make the middle piece.
Okay.
Does that sound easy?
Sounds easy.
It's just that easy. I promise you. It's just that easy. I promise you it's just that easy.
And to find that those people that want to sell, is that the same thing? Same social serve?
Yes.
Oh.
You're calling landlords that gave you their name and their phone number and their address of the property that they have. And you can look at pictures of their property. You can do all your homework right there online. Okay. Right there. Talk to them. If they want to buy, or either they don't want to buy, or either they say, hey, don't worry about bothering me anymore. Then that's when you try and build a rapport and say, hey, look, can I call you later on, just check back in with you and see if anything changed?
Okay.
So I'm going to give one more bit of information on this, and I'm going to be off that subject because there's a lot of good information. The other part, you were able to provide her with financial relief. Absolutely. Thank you, SL. I did. He doing homework and over there typing. Look at him, boy. So the other part to that is, this is what most folks don't think about. And it actually dawned on me the other day. And Joe helped me to make this dawn on me because he asked me the other day, why real estate? And, you know, I had to explain to him why, because he never asked a question really in front of everybody. And we was on a meetup call and we did it. And I explained and broke it down to him. However, everything have a lifespan. Everything have a lifespan. Everything have a lifespan, right? Mm-hmm. A community and a neighborhood have a lifespan. It's only so long that community is gonna do well. All the people that buying the homes, that's one thing. But when people start renting the homes in the neighborhood, and somebody else start renting, now the lifespan of that neighborhood is gonna go down because renters just don't take care of stuff like buyers do. It just coming, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The buyer's gonna start moving out into a different neighborhood, trying to get away from all the renters and go buy another house in another community. And then also that community will become mostly renters with the older people that could not move because of whatever reason, or did not move because of whatever reason, dying off. And then their kids or their family members inherit the house. And it's something about people that don't work for stuff, that inherit stuff, don't take care of it like the person that usually worked for it and bought it.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happens, that community goes downhill and nobody want to stay there no more because now you got a lot of people over there either renting and not owning or did not initially invest and buy the properties. So when those communities go down, after a while, somebody will be like, wait a minute, we need to reinvest in that area after about 30 or 40 years. So if you just hold on to a property in the area, by 30 or 40 years, your kids may be grown or somebody else may be grown in the next generation. That's when they can go in there and rehab and change their community again. And they could be on the front end And then as the other houses start changing around that house, the equity build up that first house that started working on. Make sense?
Yep, makes sense.
So in short, real estate can be a short game if you start investing in neighborhoods that's up and coming first, or it can be a long game if you invest into a down neighborhood and you make more than whatever you paid into it and make your money back, and then you keep on making money each year and you hold that for a long time. So it can be a short term or long term. So it's just all in understanding the concept that houses, real estate is going to go through a cycle. It's got a lifespan. Once the people change in ownership, that's when it's going to start going down. But once people start back owning properties over there and reinvesting for ownership, that's when it will go back up. And you just got to go with that ride, the roller coaster.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, look, this has been a nice call. I mean, I just wanted to have a real, honestly, I had something in front of me to talk about. I just pulled my phone out and I got plenty of notes to talk about. I have my other laptop over here on the side with my screens on the side, but I didn't want to be talking all like this. So I just want to have a conversation. And I think I asked Terry what he's been doing with real estate, and he said he's been driving for dollars. And I know he's been doing it for quite a while. So we kind of got on a rant about driving for dollars. And I want him to go ahead and take the next step and either try and really skip trace and find these people, or either ask the neighbors about the people. I also broke down, just a recap, hey, look, if you're going to do driving for dollars, do it in the middle to upper class neighborhood. That's way that if you're doing some cold calling, it's worth your money. It's worth your time. You ain't got to worry about the house being tied up with too many different families. That's just opinion. That ain't no fact. That's just me throwing some information out there for food for thought. And then
and drive and don't jog. Drive and don't jog by. Okay, drive. Make you in the car.
I know, right? We know Alabama, where they shot the young man.
Yeah, but we want to drive. Yeah, stay in the car.
Yeah, they got all kind of reasons to shoot us and get away with it and say everything but the truth. But it's that's how I've been ever since. But hopefully, the jury can see through this and give those folks what they rightfully deserve. Hopefully. But and driving for dollars is great. And then Sharon, I think I talked to you about, hey, this is a good way to get started, because you asked about, hey, how much money you need. Hey, I would say the most money you need is to upfront the investment for a deposit, and it's upfront it because you're paying a deposit, and the end buyer, you're going to buy the house if you're wholesaling. And that way that person's going to pay you all your money back anyway. You just front the money. It's just an investment.
Okay.
Yep. So I hope that y'all gained something from this call. I hope the people in YouTube land love the call as well. And I hope the people on the podcast love the call as well. So I appreciate y'all time. And Sharon, save this doggone link in your calendar.
I don't know how to save it. I'm sorry, you the guru. I don't know how to do all that. Each time I'm saying, where is this link? Where is this link? Every single time. And the last times I couldn't figure it out, so I was pressing. I just gave up. I said, never mind. But I'll try to.
So you got two ways. You can pin it in your phone, pin it, so it won't move no more. It'll just stay right.
Is that there. A safety pin or a straight pin?
Safety pin.
Safety pin. Yes.
You can do that in your phone, or you can do the other thing. Wait a minute, hold on. Straight pin. No, that's straight pin. And on your phone, you can just hold it, and it's like a little pin. Then the second thing you can do is just copy everything and put it on your calendar as repeating on Mondays for 9:00 our time.
I have it on my calendar, so it always rings for my calendar. I got that, but when I go into it, nothing comes up. So I'm not hitting the link or something to come on.
Copy it in your notes. Copy it in your message. Copy from your message, the message I just sent you.
Okay.
Just copy that. Thanks for the free real estate education, Yahuwah. And then just copy that and then paste that inside of that reoccurring meeting and in your notes section on your calendar.
Okay.
That's it. Just open up, do that, and then I'll walk you through it again. But that's pretty much all you need to do. Those two things: either pin it in your messages to stay there, or you can do that. But it's always gonna be the same one. Or you go back and find my name and then just click on it. But we'll work it out. But thanks for getting on. Appreciate everybody's time, and we'll talk soon.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for sure.